Hi there, everybody. Hello, hello. Martha Creek here, marthacreek.com to contact me. Blessings to you wherever you are in your spiritual path. You're welcome here, and your journey is a journey upward and forward. And peace is an important part of my journey and of the choices I make. So I want to present today from the teachings of a man I've studied with for decades now. Many of you have heard me reference him, Dr. David R. Hawkins, who wrote many books, including Maps of Consciousness and Power versus Force and Letting Go, A Pathway to Surrender, which I still use in various groups that I serve year after year after year. So I want to put forward here today practices and teachings from him that include 100 ways, 100 practical ways to peace, to have greater peace, and how much I pray for peace, look forward to peace, claim I want peace, and the reality is at times I do, and at times I'm pretty invested in being right. So number one is to let go of trying to change and control others. Now, I've been benefited greatly by this by studying with somebody called Mel Robbins. It's a phenomenon now, it's kind of taken over. A book called Let Them. Let Them. And the biggest portion of that is something I've heard over and over and over. Let them be as they are. Let them think the way they think. Let them be them. Like, let's stay out of their business. Stay in your lane. The bigger thing that was my takeaway from listening to that is just how much of that I'm still not doing, even though I wisely know to do it. A claim that I want to do it, proclaim that I want to do it, that I will do it, and how little of it I do at times. A bigger takeaway even than that was the next part of letting them. Let them was letting them lets me. So if I let them think about their own life, if I let them sort through their own circumstances and situations, then I'm free to make the choices for my own life. That I'm self-realized, self-directed, self-guided, and it's not an exclusion of them. If I certainly had some way of being beneficial, I'm not going to withhold it, but it's not going to run the show. So where today, who today is the matter with you? Who's the matter with you that you could, in the name of peace and in the name of practicing peace, let go, surrender and let go, let them, which lets you and frees you from futilely trying to change and control others, what cannot be changed and controlled. And the basis of our teaching, unity and other new thought, which we've learned recently is not actually a new thought, that the source of our experience, the source of our happiness, joy, peace, whatever it is solely within us. Solely within us. So even in the circumstances, even in the situations, even in loss and grief, we have within us a power, a peace that is unshakable, and us cultivating that and aligning with that won't come without us choosing this, choosing to lean in to how could I be at greater peace in this? What would be sane, sensible action here that would bring me a greater peace about this, even in the loss, even in circumstances, even in upsets? How could I lean toward peace even in the circumstances? Peacefulness is a decision you make. Now, I was just on a trip not long ago, 21 days, one suitcase, and the suitcase was missing. The airport didn't know where it is. The airline didn't know where it is. The delivery company didn't know where it is. and they said that my ship had sailed with no luggage for Martha Creek on the ship. How does that hit you as you hear it? So I did not like it. I didn't like it a bit. I did not love it a bit. And I couldn't control it a bit. I made calls. I followed up with the airline. I called multiple times. I called the delivery company that reportedly had the bag. I notified the cruise line that it was going to be delivered there, that I was already on the ship. I did everything that came to me to organize that. And peace was my decision about it. I cannot control it, accepting what I cannot control. And it's a long story. I'll put it in another thought so you can wonder whether I got the bag or not and what I did in that situation. This one is shocking even to say it and hear it, but that peace can exist in the middle of devastation, of catastrophe, even in the middle of war. Peace can exist even in these times. And you know this already. You have experienced a peace in a time where you couldn't believe that you had access to peace, like a peace that passes understanding. So I won't say any more about this other than I believe you have a glimpse of this at least, and some direct experience of peace can exist even in devastations and losses, catastrophes, tragedy. The next practice for peace is letting go of wanting and planning and conjuring how to get even. Letting go of wanting or planning to get even with somebody. Let them. And don't put anything in motion. If it's true that we reap what we sow, then that ought to be enough of a reason not to move forward or toward trying to get even with somebody or teach them a lesson. A big one is letting go of the righteousness. To let go of making others wrong. So it may not be their way. It may not be my way. Their way is not my way. And their way is not a wrong way. Their way is right for them, even though it's not my way, which it would not be right for me. But it doesn't make it wrong, their way's wrong, or them wrong simply because it's not my way. Or I don't agree with it, or it's not my philosophy, or my approach, or my ideation, or whatever the case may be. So letting it be, letting them be with their path, with their journey, with their philosophy, with their diet plan, with their money spending plan or no plan, letting them be as they are, and stop making it wrong. The next one is to practice discernment rather than judgmentalism. So to be discerning about what I'm going to do and how I'm going to respond to this instead of deepening my righteous judgment about what it ought to be or how I ought to be or how they ought to be. So practicing discernment rather than judgmentalism. And it's a full-time job with me, I can tell you that. Judgmentalism says that others should be different. Discernment sees what's happening, the reality of what's happening, with less judgment. Like, it's not my way, and it's okay. It's their way. So, the opposite of judging. to be modest with opinions. And I'd say for me, when possible, to wake up and remember I don't have to express every opinion I have, and that I can't express every opinion I have and be at peace. So I can have some opinions and not necessarily have to express them because I choose peace instead. It also includes building on diplomacy, equanimity, and developing skills around this, and even getting more and more gentle in my ways. Now, I have to work at this. I can come across as very stern, aggressive, assertive, confident, bold, outrageous, even truth teller. And the truth is, I don't want to lose that frankness, that openness, that directness. And I want gentleness, compassion, and my heart to lead instead of that. So, heart first, truth second. Heart first, diplomacy second. The heart must lead in order for me to be in integrity with myself. And to be more gracious and considerate, aware that this is my God-given nature, to be gracious, merciful, and considerate. And this listening to a podcast today with that author of Let Them, interviewing a psychologist that was so compassionate, so open-hearted, and said it's not just an affirmation that people are doing the best they can, that they have the will to do better. They have the will to do better. Most people have the will to do better. They don't have the skill to do better. So for me to be understanding about that, like in particularly watching people, with why don't they do that, or why don't they get motivated, and don't be so lazy, and think about that, and have a plan. It's like that's where they are. They have a will to do better, and they don't have the skills yet to do better. If they had the skills to do better, they'd be doing better. So for me to be gracious and merciful, compassionate about that, as I would want others being with me. And to keep peace and serenity as a goal, so that I'm going toward my goal. So then when something doesn't go my way, it's like, oh, wait a minute now. I don't want to lose my peace over this. Well, let me slow down here, because I can get jacked up over this and get my panties all twisted up, and I want to choose peace instead. I want to keep serenity and sobriety and peace of mind as my goal, and therefore my first choice. Another practice is to be okay with being wrong. Okay that I was mistaken. It's okay. See if you can even say it. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong about something. It's also okay to be undecided. I facilitated somebody this week with her and her sister, and she was so upset because she's so indecisive. And she lacked compassion for herself because the decisions she's making at this particular time are very threatening to her. She believes that her business could close, that she won't be able to survive, that if that's possible. So this self-hate and this pressuring around being decisive instead of compassionate, like it's okay that I'm indecisive. It's okay. I have to give myself understanding that my survival is triggered here. So it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be undecisive. It's okay. It's okay. Peace, 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 be still. Big deep breath. What will you do to apply these 10 or so things I've put forward? A dozen things here I put forward as practical ways to be at peace, to choose peace, to lean toward peace, to keep peace as my goal, as the lighthouse. What can you do? What can you practically do in your own life, in the house you live in your relationships, in your family, in your workplace, in your collegial groups, in your neighborhoods? Peace. How much peace do you actually want? How much do you actually want peace? And do you want to be right more than you want peace? Do you want them to change more than you want peace? Do you want to be understood or respected or approved of or appreciated or acknowledged more than you want peace? Peace. What will you let go of today that would bring some peace to you? What could you set aside or put in a God box? Like, this is God's business, not mine. And my peace is hinging on this, and I can't do it. What will you get a different framework around seeing? Like, ain't it awful, ain't it awful, ain't it awful, ain't it awful? It's like, it is. And I cannot control it. And I want peace instead. Peace. How much peace do you want today? Described as freedom, freedom from disturbances, tranquility. What will you do today for deeper inner peace? More freedom from anxiety, more freedom from conflict. A presence, a security, a mutuality, a connection. The Bible defines peace as a state of wholeness, a state of well-being, and a completeness that comes from our relationship with God. Wow. So, how will you relate to God differently today? Let me know. All my love to you and deep, deep peace to you. May you be at peace. greater peace. May I be in greater peace. May all beings have greater peace. So be it. Amen.
marthacreek.com if I can support you. Blessings.